Hi there, Brian Zana here, owner of City Datsuns, and this is your City Datsuns part of the week. I know, these videos aren't quite one a week. I'm doing my best, but I've been very busy cranking out some new parts for you. So today is kind of a twofer. Seeing that it's been so long since the last video, we're gonna look at two different new parts that are now available. And the reason being is they're kind of interlinked, and we're also gonna revisit the last new part that I did a video on. So this one today, we're talking about first of two. This is the replacement rear axle bearing. Coil brand, so you know they're good. I had these made because they're a very unusual size for our rear axles. They're not a standard size. Even the part number on the Nissan bearing is very misleading. It actually gives you the wrong size bearing if you're to go to a bearing shop. So these are the actual correct size for your axles. And as you can see, they are traditional open bearing. I like open bearings better than closed because you can repack these on the axle if you're having to pull it out to change out a seal, or maybe the grease catcher's failed, or maybe like me, you're racing and you pop the axles out to change the third member. This gives you an opportunity to go ahead and re-grease them. There are those that think that having the closed bearing is better just in case the seal at the end of the axle fails and you start getting differential fluid into the bearing. To be honest, the grease catcher is not meant to catch axle, only catch axle grease, not to catch rear differential fluid. So to be honest, if you have that issue, you're gonna see differential fluid coming out of your axle end anyway, long before the bearing's gonna give out on you. So with that being said, that's the other part that's new. This is the seal for the third member where the axle slides in. So this is the inner axle bearing. So these are identical replicas of Nissan's originals. The reason I had them made is Nissan is getting real spotty with availability for these. That, and when I can locate them, they're quite pricey now. So I figured, why rely on Nissan to make a 50-year-old part when I can have them replicated myself? So these are now available as well, and we're going to get a close-up look of both of them. Okay, so here you have it. This is new axle bearing. Like I said, this is the correct size, inner and outer diameter size for all years of the Datsun Roadsters. Beautiful piece from Coil. I did have to contact them and have a discussion with them as to why the inner diameter is what it is compared to the outer diameter, and went over some of their common bearing numbers and explained to them that Nissan decided to be very different and unique. And so after a little bit of laughing, we were able to get that done. Then we have the new axle seal. And I'll tell you right now, I've put this side by side and actually posted it on my website, citydatsuns.com. And I've also posted it on my Facebook page side by side with a Nissan original, and there's absolutely zero difference. I've made sure that the tolerances were identical. I sent an original over so they could compare, and this is what they came up with. Now, I said that I was going to add in a little throwback to the last part we had on a video, and here is the axle collar that you will need when you replace your axle bearing. So what I have done on my website is I have made a kit where you can get two of these and two of these as a kit, and it will cost you less than buying them individually. Or I have another kit where you can buy the collars, the bearings, and the seals, because honestly, if you're pulling the axles out of the third member, you really should be changing your seals. So I have them set up so you get two of each, so you can do both sides. They're available at citydatsuns.com. And I think they're just a wonderful setup. I am working on possibly having the grease catchers made. Their availability through Nissan is still pretty good, and the prices aren't terrible. So for now, I think that I will just leave it to Nissan to provide those. But if they do start to become scarce, I will start looking at having those produced. There you have it, folks. Sin City Datsun's parts of the week this time. We're talking about the inner axle seal and the axle bearing for your Datsun Roadster. As always, thank you so much for your support and your ideas for new parts. If you have an idea for a part that you can't find, or maybe you can find but it's too expensive and you think we should be making, please send us an email at sincitydatsuns with an S at yahoo.com. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. And please, when you purchase parts, if you're happy with the parts, I would love to see you do a review on the website, cincitydatsuns.com, so I can get your feedback. If you're having any issues, as always, please contact me. I will make it right for you. Until our next video, keep those Datsuns on the road.